Now, I want to move on, though, to some grimmer news here. And this week we had the sentencing of the killer of Laken Riley, a woman who we've spoken about many times on this show, young nursing student who was killed by an illegal Venezuelan immigrant. We've seen distressing footage of when Laken Riley's family found out about her death. We heard in court this week horrendous details about her death and how she fought. Yet, although many expected her killer to get the death penalty, the district attorney opted not to pursue it, saying it would cause collateral consequences to undocumented defendants, i.e. illegals. Now, no surprise, this DA was backed by George Soros. Tell me, this just seems to underline the real consequences of the horrendous open borders policy that America has suffered under over the last 4 years, and it really should help Trump's mandate to begin the deportations and really secure that border. What do you think?
Well, I think that this trial of Laken Riley and what tragically happened to her, I think that that was top of mind for a lot of voters in the country when they voted on November 5th. And I think immigration played a huge role. It was at least the number 2 issue for some people. It was the number 1 issue for me. It certainly was that. But I'll tell you this also shows the consequences when you have these Soros-backed radical, extreme activist DAs. So the Republican Party needs to do a better job of combating this. Oftentimes we let these races go under the radar and we don't pay enough attention to the consequences that they could have. And this is a perfect example of that. Jose Ibarra should have never been in this country. Laken Riley was failed by Joe Biden and by this government. And I would hope that the Biden administration in their last couple of months would see this and reverse course. But they're still flying people in by the tens of thousands. They still have a CBP One app. We've got a caravan of at least 1,000 people headed our way. And the Biden administration doesn't seem to be taking this seriously at all. A disgrace through and through. But I'll tell you this, January is coming. Donald Trump is coming. Tom Homan is coming. And there's going to be a real reckoning in this country.
Well, I think you're right. That Tom Homan pick is fantastic. We spoke about him last week. But finally, Tommy, before I let you go, this story, I love this here. A Minnesota hospital has issued an all-staff apology. Now, why do you think this is? Well, it turns out employees complained about the hospital giving out free Chick-fil-A, which is, of course, the fast food chicken chain that's linked to Christians. And the hospital said, we received feedback from some colleagues who were concerned or offended by this occurrence. And they'd like to, widen our lens of inclusivity, and they appreciate their colleagues continuing our values of respect and justice. How is it that the left, after all of this and the lessons we've learned over the last election period, are still losing their minds over Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, exactly. And, I'll tell you this. I have never seen a Chick-fil-A drive-thru that wasn't absolutely packed with cars going around the corner. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A. It doesn't matter your political affiliation. It doesn't matter your religion. You love Chick-fil-A. That's just an American institution right there. But, I find it incredibly privileged for some folks to be so offended by the free food that they're given. If that really is your top priority to complain about, boy, you sure live a luxe and privileged life. Maybe it's time to reevaluate your priorities. Maybe it's time to get over it. And maybe it's time to just touch grass and get back to reality, because this ain't it.